106.9. It's Saturday morning. It is actually the 24th of March 2012. And I'm delighted to welcome to the studio this morning Paul and Chris from Fanframes. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Just help me do that. You know when you think to yourself, you haven't woke up, but you guys were out actually meeting and talking about doing the interview last night, weren't you?
Yeah.
And doing it in the perfect way. Go on, tell us about that.
Yeah, we was in the pub on a works night out with the Enterprise Centre lot, weren't we?
Down Newland Avenue last night, so we've had a few jars, so a bit of a sore head this morning, but we'll get through it.
No problem at all.
The sun's going to shine today, it'll be good.
It's going to be glorious, and I'm talking about sun shining. In front of you here, you've got some of your product. How did you two guys meet? And tell us a little bit of that story.
Yeah, sure. Well, me and Chris were kind of friends from afar, really, weren't we? Both our partners, my wife or my girlfriend at the time, they were friends, weren't they? And you was down in Somerset. We went to Sorrento to get married, me and my partner. And Lisa, Chris's partner, was Gemma's maid of honour. So we were there for the week, and just before pre-wedding, me and Chris are sat in a pool overlooking Sorrento.
Just the way you do.
Sounds very romantic. And he's still lad in Sorrento.
The romance is still there, Paul.
So we, it must have been a couple of years, mustn't it? And I actually turned to Chris and said, what is it you do? And I'll let you take that up, Chris.
Well, I said I'm a product design engineer, and then he thought, right, I'm going to tell this guy my idea. He's the man.
I'd had the idea just in an opticians on Newland Ave a few years before, and really didn't have the tools to put my idea into a product. And as soon as Chris said that, the penny dropped with me, and I said, right, I've got to tell this guy. And your eyes rolled, didn't it? Because straight away you thought it'd already been done.
Yeah, like everyone always thinks, they always go, surely this has been done.
It's sort of a simple idea, and I think that's the real key to it, is such a simple idea. The history is we've since learned is there's many people thought about doing it but not actually jumped on the mountain to do it. They maybe saw how big it was. We really didn't. We just got going with the idea as soon as Chris moved up.
So I showed Paul the designs for some optical frames for the opticians with Manchester United and other teams on. He loved them.
This all happened in a bedroom in Raywell as well, so I'd romanced him in a pool in Sorrento. And then we're actually coming up with the idea in a bedroom in Raywell, you know, and I've spent most of my life on Holderness Road. So.
So obviously your company's called Fanframes here.
Fanframes.
Fanframes. So
Yeah. Where that really comes from is we want the fans to have ownership of that product. The sort of idea is getting away from the standard sort of real commercialised, really heavy brands that people used to aspire to in the 80s and the 90s. We had it blazoned across your jumper and that sort of thing. Whereas now you're lucky if it's on your label in the back of the shirt, because people don't really identify with those products. It's kind of this glamorous image we kind of aspire to. Whereas what we're attempting to do, or what we have done, is give fans, people that actually love those labels, a chance to wear them with pride. But we've not done it in the way that you would automatically think. We've put it in a real distinct way. So if you was actually walking down the street, you wouldn't actually know that it was a merchandise product. Nice and subtle. And it's sort of that fashionable product with that little bit of naughty. You know that is your club. You know you love that. You're passionate about it. And if you sat there with your friends in the pub, you can just kind of tap the frame and sort of draw attention to that. And that's what we was trying to do with the products, and I think we've done really well.
These are branded with the greatest team in the world, of course, Hull City.
Yeah, they're the child ones you got there. So they have the full crest on because we think, obviously, children want to see their team's logo on the side, whereas the adult stuff's more subtle. I've got a pair of Jasper Conran glasses, and they're from Specsavers. And there's other opticians available, obviously. And
you should be in radio here.
Yeah, I've got a face for radio, so I'm already one step. Sorry for that poor gag.
Do you know what? I'm just going to stand up, go out the door. It's the Chris and Paul show from here.
yeah. Thanks, Andy. We'll see you next week. I've got a pair of Jasper Conran glasses from Specsavers. I don't even know who Jasper Conran is. So, like Paul was saying about the identity, actually, I've got these glasses with a brand on the side I don't even know. So why not have my team on the side? So,
and that's the thing that stands out here, because I've looked at you've got two other pairs here, and I'm looking at the subtlety. I mean, these, I take it, the what I would call similar to the Chris Evans style of glass, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's that modern fashionable, it's that sort of heavy acetate style, and it's a layered material, so it's actually a real quality material.
And do you want to move on now? You've got the product. It's a case of getting it into the marketplace.
We couldn't really control the licensing rights of all these major clubs. We had to get those licensing rights. So we sort of had to plan a whistle-stop tour around the country And we identified 6 key clubs, and I think every one of the listeners would know what they are.
Including Hull City, obviously.
Excellent.
And, Hull City was the first approach. That was the test bed for us. And
yeah, as a local club, we sort of, as I said before, we put together a PowerPoint presentation. We wanted to test it with Hull City. So we had a meeting with them, went down to the KC and sort of told them our idea, showed them the presentation. And, straight away, there was like, great product. Let's move forward with this. So once we'd been to the KC, and
which is exactly what you guys want to hear, isn't it?
Yeah.
It must be.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, when we met the guy down there, he told us some sort of stories of people that come in with these ideas. I'm not sure. Should I say what?
It'd be a funny one, I think. Yeah.
He said that someone came in and wanted to put Hull City stickers on rubbish bins, and it doesn't really like give the club in a positive light.
They obviously turned it down because Hull City are amazing, not rubbish. So.
Hull City was club number 1. Then you went north of the border, didn't you? Next,
yeah. Went to Rangers and met them. And Celtic as well, and they all took the idea straight away. They went, it's a great product. We can see all these sunnies and that sat in our stores.
And one of the things and one of the main motivations was to actually give kids identity on their glasses, because there is still that little bit of stigma, even though now it's such a fashionable product. And I always had this vision that kid in the playground wearing his team's glasses was going to be suddenly the most popular kid in the playground, and that was kind of the feeling. And that's what we was giving to the clubs, was we was offering them a marketplace that they've never explored before, being 7,000 to 7,500 opticians in the UK. That's its potential.
So guys, if somebody sat out there now thinking, do you know what, I want a pair of these specs, where can they go and get them from?
Well, there's tiers of products really. The sunglasses are landing at the end of April, so they'll be available in the fan store at Hull City. They'll be available in your local opticians as well. The spectacle frames we're set to launch at the end of July, and there's a number of opticians in Hull that are ready to take the product, and so that hopefully for that pre-season warm-up you'll be able to get your spectacle branded, football branded specs, yeah.
And that'll be a number of clubs, not just at Hull City but elsewhere as well?
Yeah, we've got 11 clubs, and we always kind of go down from Scotland because it's easier to remember. So if anybody's counting, it's Rangers, Celtic, Newcastle, Hull, Man United, Man City, Everton, Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea, and Notts Forest.
Thrown in for good measures.
Yeah.
Excellent. And of course the other thing is as well, if you want to find out more about FanFrames, you're in the next copy of Flux 120, the interactive magazine. That's coming out in a couple of weeks' time, as is WHCR. So it's a fine combination.
He's running a competition in there as well, so you can win some tickets to a Premiership football game of your choice, courtesy of FanFrames.
Yeah.
So that's in there as well.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And guys, will you come back and see us a little later in the year and keep us updated how you're getting on?
Absolutely.
Remember, can I just say before we go, if anyone wants to actually look at these products that we've been talking about today, just go on just Google FanFrames and you'll see our website pop up there. It is down for maintenance this weekend, but look back on Monday and you'll see a full product range on there.
And like us on Facebook.
Oh yeah,
please.
yeah. Support us on Facebook, and if you tweet, get us on Twitter as well.
Gentlemen, thanks ever so much for coming in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and very, very best of luck. These are real quality products, and we'll look forward to seeing them on Fans in the near future.
Thanks, Andy.